What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the latest from Painted Polish, their fall 2023 collection, which is called Keep Calm and Fall On. Now before we get into that, if you haven't heard of Painted Polish before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US, and all of their polishes are fave free, meaning they are free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So yeah, we've got 6 brand new nail polishes today, 5 of which are crellies, which means they're somewhere between being a cream and a jelly, and they are packed with different glitters and exciting shimmers. And then we have one stamping nail polish, which can also be used for regular manicures. It's just super opaque for stamping as well. One type of collection that I especially love from Painted Polish that I mention very often is when they do a full collection where it's one color with different finishes or one finish in different colors. But this time they did do a collection of different colors and finishes. So for those of you who prefer that, this is a great collection for you. So let me just dive into these swatches, then we can talk a little bit more about pricing, availability, my thoughts, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Picture Polish base coat. So we'll start off with this first shade. It's called Rugged Rainbow, and this one is described as a rust-colored crelly packed with a rainbow of metallic glitters. So it's basically this brick red base kind of color, which has a lot of warmth to it, but it's still got a nice dustiness to it that to me definitely feels like a fall kind of color. And there really are a ton of different color glitters in there, and they're all in the classic hex shape. So we've got some mini ones, and then we also have some micro ones, and it's just a full rainbow. So definitely very fun. It almost reminds me of a funfetti cake. I feel like every time I see rainbow glitters in acrylic, I always think funfetti. But what I really loved about this polish was the opacity. It just was so opaque in the first coat. It gave me perfect coverage in 2, and you could still see the layers of glitters underneath. Next up we have the shade Beam Me Up Scotty, which looks very similar to Rugged Rainbow in the bottle, but on the nail it really does look different, and you'll see a little bit better in my comparison chart at the end. But this one's described as a milk chocolate base color, and then within that base we actually have green, fuchsia, gold, and copper metallic glitters running throughout. So a really interesting combo of colors here. Again, getting a little bit of a funfetti vibe, but the color scheme also is making me think a little bit of Mardi Gras. And again, the opacity was just incredible. It was almost 1 coat coverage, and in 2 coats it just looked so perfect. These are the types of shades that really look so stunning with a matte top coat over them. I did not think to do that for my swatches, but truly nothing beats a good crelly with a matte top coat on it. Next up we have the shade Ochre the Moon, and this one is an ochre base color, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically just like this earthy, mustardy yellow kind of color. You can definitely see that strong brownish undertone, and then within that we have these turquoise flakies running throughout. So again, we have a nice variance in size here, ranging from small to super tiny, and again, the coverage was incredible. I actually do think I could get away with wearing this one in 1 coat, but I do love layering with crellies. I like that the more coats you do, the more glitter you get coming through, and then you can also faintly see some of the glitters from the previous layer. So I think it looks beautiful in 2 coats, but I just really like the contrast of colors here. We have this very earthy, brownish kind of yellow as the base, but then we have this very bright, oceany sky kind of blue popping in. Moving on, we have the shade Must Love Moss, and this one actually ended up being my favorite in the collection. It's this very earthy, mossy green kind of base color. It looks a little bit more yellow in the first coat, but it ended up getting more green in the second coat. And again, it's just packed with these metallic hex glitters in a bunch of different colors. And what I love about this one is it really does at first glance look like just a rainbow of glitters in there, but when you look at it a little bit closer, you can see that there's blue and purple and orange and copper, and I just really appreciate the interesting mix of colors that this brand brings into crelly polishes, because they're just color combinations I wouldn't expect, but they always end up working really nicely together. So this one gave me perfect coverage in 2 coats. And then we have the shade Eggplant One On Me, which is a gorgeous, warmer toned purple base, and it is absolutely packed with these gold metallic flakies. And this is a formula that I see from Painted Polish a lot, and I really enjoy their gilded type of polishes. They just have so many beautiful colors with this gold flaky running throughout, and I really enjoy it. I think it just adds a little elevation to the manicure. This color combo with the purple and the gold just feels very royal to me, and I like that it's this nice deep purple, but it still looks very purple even in lower lighting situations. So definitely enjoyed this one. Again, perfect coverage in 2 coats. Just a quick note on this one, it is described as having a satin matte finish on the website, but I didn't notice it to be very strong. And then the final shade in the collection is this stamping polish. It's called Stamped in Twilight, and we have this really beautiful grayed out blue shade that is a true 1-coat cream on my nail length at least, and I am just so impressed with this. Sometimes stamping polishes, you want to be able to wear them as a full nail color just to kind of complement what you're stamping, but a lot of times they're just very thick and lumpy and hard to use, but this one was so smooth and level, so I definitely wanted to try it as a full color, and I'm glad I did because it ended up being such an incredible formula. But I wanted to show you it's stamped as well, so I stamped on this little floral design. I actually just stamped it over the base coat because it was a ridge filling base coat and it pretty much covered my visible nail line anyway, and let me tell you, I completely missed one of the flowers, but that was user error. I'm just having a little bit of issues with my depth perception right now, but you can see at least on the left side that flower just has so much detail that really was captured very well by the polish. It's definitely very opaque and it really gets into the detail, so definitely good for stamping. I just had a little bit of user error there, sorry about that. So here are all the polishes together, and I have to say I really enjoy this color story. It's definitely on the more muted, dusty kind of side, but I think that works really well for this season. We don't have anything that's like in your face vibrant kind of colors, but we do have a really nice vibrance in the color of the glitters that are in the polishes. So between like the flakies and the hex glitters that we see in there, there's just these little pops of exciting colors that definitely lean on the more jeweled tone side. So it's really just the perfect combination of these muted, softer colors with these more stereotypically fall jeweled tones in there. And I think it just works really well. I just like that combination. I like the contrast, and I think the colors also look really pretty together if you want to do a skittle with all of the colors. So yeah, I'm always a color story appreciator. I like when all the colors go nicely together, and even though we do have different colors going on here and different finishes, I think they still end up working really nicely. So yeah, those are the polishes, and I truly love them. This is a brand that I feel is incredibly underrated, specifically because of their formula. Obviously, I love their colors. I love the way that they play with color theory, and I just feel like they're a very quintessential indie brand in the styles that they do of different polishes, but the formula really is what makes them just so special for me. I think it's an incredibly beginner-friendly formula, so even if you're fairly new to painting your nails, I think they apply really well. I love the opacity on them, and I have been able to get away with wearing a lot of their polishes as 1/4s on my short nails, and I just think the variety of colors that they provide, and especially just like the amount of nuance within the different colors that they give, it just makes it feel like such a well fleshed out brand. So I love to sing their praises. I think they're really impressive, and I do think that they deserve a lot more love. So now let's get into pricing and availability. All of these polishes are available on the Painted Polish website. They come in 13.2 milliliter bottles. They have a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip. So like I said, super easy application, and the price does vary based on what's in the polish, but they range between $10 USD and $12 USD, or you can get the full collection of 6 polishes for a discounted rate, and that is $62 USD. I also have a discount code, so you can use the code KELLI to get 10% off your order there. I'm going to link everything down in the description, and you can check them out if you're interested. But I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of these polishes? Which color is your favorite? And what type of collection do you tend to prefer from Painted Polish? Do you, like me, really enjoy those kind of color theory collections where they do the same color in different formulas? Or do you prefer a collection more like this where they're just exploring a nice color story with different finishes? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also have a second YouTube channel, my vlog channel, which is a little bit more about my life outside of nail polish reviews. So check that out if you're interested. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals, Rocket Man's daughter, Paola, Ken, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Megan D, and Megan D wants to know, is there anyone, for example Ryan, who gets to see your collabs at the prototype stages, or does it stay completely secret the whole time? Yes, Ryan is probably the #1 person who sees all of my collab stuff as it comes to fruition. He is actually usually with me when we are developing polishes and colors, and I'm laughing because I feel bad for the Orly team. Ryan and I together, I feel like we're absolute menaces. Like, we are such goofballs. I'm remembering specifically when we were in the lab working on my Galaxy Remix collection, Ryan and I thought it was so funny to pretend, and this is, I'm gonna say, do not do this at home, don't joke about it, I never condone this, but we did think it would be very funny to keep on pretending that we were drinking the nail polish when nobody was looking. So like every time we were adding like glitters and shimmers, we were like, ooh, that looks delicious. Like, should we try this? I feel like I'm making myself sound so unprofessional, but I do think when Ryan and I are in a room together, we become absolute goofballs, so that's kind of tough. But for the most part, I would say I'm very professional with working with brands. We sometimes goof off, and the Orly team is so great. They're really fine with us fooling around, I hope. Oh, that's so juicy. Should we taste it? Ryan, I would say 100% of what I'm working on, Ryan knows. I even tell Ryan, like, when I'm working on a new favorites video, I'm like, what do you think of these? Like, these are my favorite polishes for this. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Non-nail polish friends get to see stuff that's coming soon. Like, I don't show them prototype stuff as much as I showed them, like, ooh, finished product, but it's not coming out until next year. Isn't this pretty? So yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.